Hi guys, welcome to today's video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Erica, and if you're not new, welcome back. So happy that you're here with me today because we're going to be doing a fun little project together. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I put together my Ikea Baggebo. So I just got this Ikea Baggebo in yesterday. I was able to get it shipped directly from Ikea to me, and it was small order shipping. So I think it was only $5 if you're an Ikea member, and it's $10 shipping if you're a non-member. But usually Ikea has super high delivery fees for my area. So this is a great option if you're looking for something a little smaller, or you want to put some smaller plants into it, such as Hoyas, or even like propagations and some smaller alocasias. I think this will be perfect. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to put in the cabinet yet, but we are just going to go ahead and get everything set up, and then hopefully I will add some plants in with you guys as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the first step. The first thing you're going to want to do is add a hole to the bottom of the cabinet. If you see right there, you're going to want to add a hole to that shelf, and that is a metal shelf. So what I use to do this is called a hole saw, and it attaches to your drill, and it has kind of like circular blades, and you can get these in different sizes. The one I chose to use is a 1-inch hole saw, and to cover up the raw edges, I bought these little desk grommets, and these are also 1 inch as well, and you can get these on Amazon. They are flexible and you can just kind of stick a cord right through it. So for the lights I'm using, this should be a good size, but if you want something bigger, you can go ahead and make the hole a little bigger. So let me just go ahead and take you into the cabinet and show you what the hole looks like, and we'll talk about it a little more. Okay guys, so this is where the hole is in the bottom of the shelf. We put it on the right side, and then we attach the little grommet, and I ran through the cord to the grow light. This is going to be the first grow light that we install. So this is really little. So if you're wanting to run multiple cords through here, or maybe even a fan cord, you might want to size up and make a little bit bigger of a hole. But hopefully this size ends up working well for us. But I will let you guys know once we start putting everything in here. Okay, so next you're going to want to go ahead and assemble your product. And this one does come with some very helpful instructions with pictures. But my husband did say that some parts were a little confusing. So just make sure you read through these carefully. But this is a very easy project, and it can be assembled in less than an hour. If you have any questions for me or anything you want to ask my husband about putting this together, just go ahead and leave them below, and I will go ahead and try to answer those for you. Okay, so after you have your cabinet assembled, now is a good time to go ahead and add some insulation if you're wanting to seal up the sides of each cabinet are vented. So there is going to be a lot of airflow coming in. If you're wanting to increase the humidity in your cabinet, it's a good idea to seal those off. So for sealing them off, we have two options. So our first option is to use this window insulation shrink kit. So I bought this, but my husband actually came up with a better idea. So finding this product right here, which is a poster board frame, and the size and everything of this ended up being perfect for the project. So what he did was he took the plastic sheeting that you can see on the front of the frame. Instead of it being glass, it's just a sheet of plexiglass. So he ended up just taking that sheeting out and cutting it in half to make it the perfect size to fit in the cabinets. So I'm going to go ahead and flip you guys around and show you what that looks like. Okay guys, this is going to be really hard to show you since it's clear, but if you look at the top here, you'll see that these thin plastic sheets are up here. The pieces were cut perfectly to fit along the side of the cabinet, and then we just tucked them behind each shelf. So the little screws here, I don't know if my camera will focus, So these little screws here were perfect for holding in the plastic on each shelf. So we didn't glue it down or anything, but you could end up adding some magnets or even some more double-sided tape here up at the top if you want this to be more secure. I might end up doing that, but for now I'm just going to leave it like this. I think it will be okay. So that is what we ended up doing as the alternative option instead of using the window insulation kit. And I will let you guys know how that ends up working later down the road. Let's go ahead and move on to step 4. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and talk about the grow lights that you will need for today's project. So if you're going to use the grow lights that I'm using, they are the Barina brand of grow lights, and these are called T5. And this one came in a 4-pack, and it has the power cord and extensions. This is what it looks like in here. You're probably only going to need 3 of these, but they didn't sell a 3-pack, so I went ahead and got the 4-pack. And $30 for a 4-pack on Amazon, and I will put the link for these lights in the description for you guys. You're also going to need to buy something such as this mounting tape. It ended up working really well for the grow lights that are in my Redsta cabinet, so I think this will work out okay, but I'll let you guys know how they hold up. Go ahead and get these grow lights in the cabinet. So I went ahead and threaded the power cord through the hole in the bottom, and now we're going to take our double-sided tape and apply it to the top of the light, and we're going to install it at a diagonal onto the bottom of the glass shelf. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Hopefully I'm not too far in the way. Yeah, hopefully I'm not in the way, and this angle works so you guys can see. Go ahead and remove the tape and go ahead and apply it to the top of our shelf. And you want to press down and make sure that it is firmly on there. That way the tape sticks. We're going to go ahead and do the same process for the next 2 lights. And I'm going to go ahead and add my extension cord. Okay, so I went ahead and installed all the grow lights. They look pretty secure. We added 1, 2, and 3 grow lights to the shelf. And the cords in the corner, I don't really like them hanging down, so I'm going to see if we can add some cord covers next. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, so in order to hide the cords and kind of secure them so they're not hanging out, I went ahead and got this 12-foot cable concealer, and this is in the color white. And I got this from Walmart. It was less than $10. You get 12 1-foot pieces, and they are cuttable. So let me go ahead and show you in the cabinet what these look like. All right, so here are what the cable concealers look like. I cut them to fit the size of the space in between each shelf. So this one is kind of tucked away over here, and then the bottom one looks like this. And they were actually super easy. Sorry, there's like cat hair everywhere. Anyways, so yeah, that is what they look like installed. I think they are perfect, and they help conceal the wires really well. And for our last step, I'm going to be installing this little desk fan down into the bottom shelf. I eventually want to get a nicer fan to put in, maybe mount something, but this is the only thing I could find at our local Walmart, and I think it'll work perfectly for now. So installing a fan will help keep the air circulated and help prevent things like mold from growing in the cabinet. Go ahead and put this together, and then I will show you what it looks like once we have it in the cabinet. So the fan attaches by USB. It's a little bit bigger than I thought, so I probably am going to end up having to get something to replace it, but I just went ahead and threaded it through the little grommet. It is a tight squeeze with two cords in here, so keep that in mind when you're drilling your hole. You might want to size up. This was a 1 inch, so maybe a little bigger, like 1.5, might work well for you if you plan on having more than two cords running through the cabinet. And I also went ahead and added one of these thermometers, and this will help measure the temperature and the humidity in the cabinet. Right now it is at 55% and 73.4 degrees. So they have other ones that you could probably mount up here, which I will probably look into getting eventually, but let's go ahead and take a look at the setup. All right, so we got all the grow lights installed. We have the cord covers on, we have the thermometer back here, and the fan is running down at the bottom. I do not have any weather stripping installed, but if you see around the side, there are gaps on the side of the door. So we may need to add some weather stripping to that. I'm not really sure if that's going to affect the humidity levels that much. And it just will depend on what plant I'm putting in here. For most tropical plants, it needs to be between 60 and 80% humidity. Also, you might want to buy a power strip, and this one doesn't have a timer, but I recommend getting one with a timer because that would just be one less thing to worry about. So other than that, if you want to increase your humidity, you could also add a water tray in here and fill it with some pebbles or some leca, and that will help increase the humidity as well. Also, if you want to prevent mold from growing on the cabinet, since it is going to be higher humidity with those added plastic panels in, you want to make sure you're wiping down your cabinet regularly, just wiping down the glass and everything, and that will help prevent mold growth. So other than that, I think that's everything. If you have any questions about anything I used or have any tips to share with me, please leave them below, and we'll go ahead and add a few plants in here. So let me just show you guys the plants that I ended up adding. So I ended up throwing in a lot of alocasias. They just are some smaller plants that easily fit in the cabinet. And each shelf could hold probably about 4 smaller plants. The second shelf here has a bigger alocasia, and then it has my philodendron Micans aria. And those, it looks like I could probably fit 2 more smaller plants on that shelf. On the bottom here, we have a tray. My fan isn't holding up the best in here. It kind of keeps falling over, so I am going to end up mounting that. I'll probably get some magnetic hooks and kind of hang that, or maybe even look into getting a different one. But for now, it should be okay. I'm not sure if the fan blowing on these leaves is going to end up bothering these plants either, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that. I have a little tray down here, and I'm going to end up adding some leca in there just to kind of increase the humidity a little bit more. But that's it. That is the setup. And if you guys have any questions about anything I used today or need links for any of the products, just go ahead and leave me a comment below. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next video. So I will see you guys soon.